Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Since we are on a mission and on the road to solving the problems that led to the current situation of a whole race of people, we started off in Spain. No, we started off in Brazil, dealing with the Spanish and the Portuguese. We started off with Ganga Zumba and his story. Now we're dealing with Gaspar Yanga and his story in Veracruz, Mexico in the 1600s. He defended off the Spaniards. Ganga Zumba defended off the Portuguese. You had waves of, this is before England got into the slave trade. But what happened was you had the Portuguese and the Spanish out collecting slaves, and they were traveling to the Americas. And when they got to Americas, they found black people in Mexico. And the reason why Ganga Zumba in Brazil was able to defeat the Portuguese is because he got the native blacks that was there. He was black. He said, let's unite. He came over with that warrior spirit, that Moor mentality, and defeated the Portuguese. Gaspar Yanga came to Veracruz as a slave, but he also saw that the native people in Mexico was black. He united and used what was there against the Spanish, and they defeated the Spanish to where Veracruz was the first freed town in Mexico, and it was freed by a black man, Gaspar Yanga. Right. Moving on up, and that was the 1600s. It was in the 1400s, around 1444, when Ganga Zumba defeated the Portuguese. Then we get to the 1555, where you had John Hardy Hawkins and his slave ship Jesus going to Africa, bringing slaves from Africa to the Americas. But what had happened? When he got to the American shores on that slave ship called Jesus, also, too, when they came to North America, there were black natives, indigenous there. But they learned something. They said, wait a minute, we going about this thing wrong, because they learned and studied what happened to the Portuguese in Brazil and the Spanish defeat by Gaspar Yanga in Mexico, Veracruz, right? Tell you what they learned. They said, no. We need time to make a slave. They said, well, just the physical part of chaining them, that's not enough. We need to break the mind and the spirit so there won't be uprising like we had in the Caribbeans and like we had in in Central and South America. So what we have to do is we have to use distrust. We have to pit the young against the old, and the old against the young, the male against the female against the male, the dark against the light against the dark, the old against the young against the old. Cut the babies out of the stomachs of the pregnant women, put fear into them. We'll teach them a religion because they spiritual people. We'll teach them a religion of fear to where they would fear us. We'll give them an image of a white Jesus and say, this is your master and this is who you should obey, and make sure he looks like us. And we'll run this whole psychological game on them. And then the knowledge that they'll receive will be handcrafted by us, and we'll give it to them. And some of their great warriors, some of their great stories or legends, we'll interact ourselves into those tales, and we'll curve it to where their leaders will present a narrative that you should serve white people because they were a friend to the whites, and they honored the whites and changed the whole dynamics around. And here we are today. Now, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Deuce Ali, Sheikh Anta Diop, Elijah Muhammad, and so many others who came to bring that knowledge. Because if you notice, the knowledge came from the east to the west. The knowledge that Ganga Zumba had coming from Africa to Brazil and fought with the native Brazilians to defeat the Portuguese. The knowledge that Gaspar Yanga came from the east to the west and gave to the Mexico and Veracruz with the natives there to help defeat the Spaniards. Also, the knowledge that Masfar Muhammad came from the east to the west gave to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that helped stir up black men here in America. So as lightning shineth from the east up even unto the west, so shall it be. You know the rest. That's what it's all about, because why? It's like when you in the thick of things or you in the funk, you become accustomed to it. So someone from the outside has to come inside and show and open your eyes. And then once your eyes is open, you can maneuver. So that's where we at today. So don't let anybody tell you that the steps that had to be taken in order to free the mind first was in vain. Because you got a lot of awoke people moving around here today. Yeah. So we'll keep you abreast on this subject that we're doing right now, dealing with how things had become from the Portuguese first to the Spanish to the English. Yeah. We'll keep giving you a map of that history. Verbal Prick Radio, we're out.